Hey guys, welcome back to the Mets franchise. In this episode, we're going to finish off this month of June real quick and then go into July and end right before the trade deadline. So we're not going to sim through that, but we will go past the All-Star break, play a game right before the trade deadline, and then we'll see where we're at to see if we're going to possibly make some trades in the next episode or see what we have to do depending on where we are in the standings and see how guys are doing in the lineup, stuff like that. Right now, at the start of this, at the end of June, we are 3.5 games out of the division. So, I mean, it's a tight division race. All four teams are in it. The Nationals are way out, even after signing Juan Soto in the offseason. And in the wild card, we're still tied for that third spot, three-way tie for that third spot. It's kind of crazy. The Cubs are half game out as well. So it's a whole big mess in that wild card that's going to get sorted out hopefully soon as we go along and sim through some games here. First up, we're going to play the first place Miami Marlins in Miami. So 44-38 is our record. We're going up against Jesus Luzardo, who's having a mediocre season, nothing special. 4.70 ERA, not good, but not, I guess, too bad, especially for this game. Julio Urias had that ERA in the low threes at the start of last episode. It's up to in the fours now, very low, 4.02. So hopefully he can have a good start and get it back into the threes. It's Oneil Cruz up with a runner on second in the first. He's going to fly out to left, but I just thought that was interesting that Miami has Oneil Cruz. They also have Ketel Marte. He's going to lead off in the second. He's going to smoke one to left field. It's going to one hop off the wall. Grichuk will play it off the wall. It's a leadoff double for Ketel Marte. Next batter is going to be Jesus Sanchez. 1-2 count. He lines one in the left field for a base hit. Randall Grichuk comes up throwing. The throw home, though, is just not in time. Marte beats it out at 1-0 Miami. In the third, runner on first, nobody out for Thomas Samuels. Not sure if that's a real guy. If it is, I don't know. But he rips one down the third base line, past the diving Vientos. Second and third, nobody out in the third. Next batter is Brian De La Cruz. He's going to strike out. Let's see if Julio Urias can get out of this. Strikes out De La Cruz. Next batter is Chisholm. He's going to fly out to center. It's not too deep, but it's not too shallow. Luis Roberts not going to have the arm to throw out the runner. We're going to test him anyway. Kind of stupid because then the runner was able to go to third. 2-0 Miami. Oneil Cruz trying to bring in that runner on third. He will not do that, as that is not where Urias wanted that pitch. But nonetheless, Oneil Cruz strikes out. We jump ahead all the way to the seventh because nothing else is happening. Luzardo's still in the game. We're trying to finally pull him out of here. It's a base hit for Jorge Soler with two out, nobody on. Next batter is going to be Francisco Alvarez, 2-1 count. He's going to rip one up the middle for a base hit. Back-to-back base hits, hard hit up the middle. Luzardo is going to stay in, though. They're not going to pull him. They want him to finish his seventh against Randall Grichuk. It's a 3-1 count. Shirley would be his last batter. He hits one hard down the third base line, but a diving play from Jake Berger stops it, fields it, and still has time to throw across the diamond and get Grichuk out. That was our only chance at a rally that game, as Soler's going to ground out to Berger to end the game. We get shut out by Miami, 2-0. So Urias pitched well, but it wasn't enough as our offense did nothing that game. Miami wins, and their 3.5 lead on us goes up to 4.5 because they beat us. Bad news shortly after that game. Ronnie Mauricio, he is hurt, fractured his arm, so he's out for 1 to 2 months. I just put him on the 60-day DL. That usually means 2 months anyway. But yeah, Ronnie Mauricio is going to be out for a while, so he's going to be out for the rest of this video and probably the next one. So he wasn't doing too good. 239 OBP. Yikes. 203 batting average, only 6 home runs. Not good. Not good. Who we're going to call up is Will Wilson, though. One of our many shortstops in our system. 26 years old. Has never got a chance to get called up. So he's batting 254 with 8 home runs. We figured, why not? Send him to the 40-man, call him up. He'll make his debut. He'll play against lefties, and Luis Guillermo will play against righties. He's got some good stats. So second base is, I mean, it's not like we were getting much production out of it anyway. It's not the end of the world. Anyway, let's jump ahead. We're versing the Oakland Athletics right before the All-Star break. Senga's pitching 4.57 ERA, very, very mid, so he would need a start against the A's to hopefully get him back on track in the first. He's going to get a pair of strikeouts against some guys I've never heard of. Probably guys they drafted, or they might be minor leaguers in real life. I just don't pay attention to the Oakland A's much. Going against Sal Booker, he's usually a reliever. He's got 72 innings with a 3.13 ERA, but only 2 starts. So I'm guessing he's he's doing an opener. And I'm not sure if he's going to do many openers in the near future, as that's a leadoff home run for Brandon Nimmo. He should stick to the bullpen, Sal Booker, because he had some good numbers out there. Home run for Brandon Nimmo, leadoff home run. Hit one in the last episode against the Rockies. So that was good. After getting shut out, we needed some run production in this episode, and we got it straight away. Home run to get a better angle at that. As you can see, it hit the top of that second deck there. In the second, Jorge Soler to lead off the inning. He rips one into left field. That one's getting out of here. Solo shot for Jorge Soler. We really need him to get going because he's our DH. We brought him in to hit home runs. We didn't care about his average. We just wanted pop from him, and he's not really hitting that many. 11 is not enough, so hopefully he gets going. Next batter, Starling Marte. He smokes one into the gap of left center. That's not going to get out of here, but it's going to one-hop off the wall for a double. So it's a leadoff home run followed by a double. They're going to leave Sal Booker in there, surprisingly, against our new guy, Will Wilson. Batting 286 already in a couple games that he must have got in that we simmed. A couple, one or two, I guess, so not many. But he's going to rip a base hit in the right field. He'll get robbed of his first RBI because it was just too shallow. Next batter, Nimmo, does a good job to check his swing. Base is loaded, and that will do it for Saul Booker. Lindor would be the batter, but he weakly grounds out to second. At least it wasn't enough for a double play. They'll get the force out. Fielder's choice, RBI, 3-0 Mets. And the next batter, Pete Alonso, he gets robbed of an RBI. Nice diving stop by the second baseman. Keeps it in front and throws out Alonso, no problem. In the fourth, it's 3-1. Senga, though, would get out of that jam. Another fastball right down the middle that we get a strikeout on. We're getting very fortunate in this episode. Anyway, 3-1 in the fourth. Will Wilson, he's going to smoke one in the left field gap. Is that going to be enough to get out? It is not. It's going to one-hop off the wall. Runner from first is coming all the way around from third, and he will score. RBI double for Will Wilson. That's his first career RBI and his first career double. So first career extra base hit and everything for Will Wilson. Very nice. In the fifth, Luis Roberts smokes one down the right field line. Runner from first is trying to score. That's Francisco Alvarez. And with one out, we probably shouldn't have sent him, but good relay from the Oakland A's. And they get him, runner thrown out at home. This game remains 4-1 in the fifth. Next batter, Jorge Soler. Just going to ground out to first, but look at this. Fancy stuff from the A's first baseman. That was actually a tough play, and he goes behind the back to make it. In the seventh, still 4-1. 2 on, 1 out for Luis Robert. And he does exactly what we need. Blows this game wide open with a long shot in the left. No doubt about that one. 3-run home run for Luis Robert. His 15th of the season. And it's now 7-1. This game is getting out of hand. 15 for him. Not terrible by the All-Star break, but pretty low. I was expecting maybe a bigger year. Anyway, Senga, he would pitch the 8th, battle through 8 one-run innings. So 8 innings, 1 run. And I have to show this because it's Will Wilson against the Will Wilson show in this episode. It's another base hit, his 3rd hit of the game. We find maybe our new second baseman? No, we didn't. But he'll be playing against lefties. He might put up better number than Ronnie Mauricio. You never know. He gets over to third eventually, and Pete Alonso does drive him in to make it 8-1. That's how this one would end, as Phil Bickford would get Jordan Diaz to ground out to second. And, of course, only fitting if Will Wilson ends that game. So he makes a play at second, throws him out. 8-1 victory. Very solid win for us. We finally got some runs. We're making up for that shutout in the first game. We're going to call back up now. We're going to make some moves to the bullpen. We're going to call up Ron Marinaccio. He's doing okay in AAA, and we could use him. And Phil Bickford, even though he just closed that game out, he's been struggling with the 5.23 ERA. We're going to send him down. I've had enough of him. He hasn't done anything really, and Ron Marinaccio, although he started struggling, he was doing okay in the AAA, and hoping he could do. He can't be much worse, and he's got good stats, so let's bring him back up. Phil Bickford will have to go through waivers, but I'm confident no one's going to pick that bum up, so we'll get him back in AAA. All-star selections. Now, we did not have many. We actually only had 2. Dylan Cease, that first option, that starter, 2.24 ERA, definitely deserved. And our last, second and only other All-Star representative is Edwin Diaz, as he is absolutely balling. His ERA is below 1 in 29 innings, so good for him. Let's look at some moves around the league as we approach the trade deadline. The Orioles traded Michael King. That's surprising that they had him, but just funny that they traded him to the Padres, exactly where he went in real life, obviously. So the Orioles looks like they're selling. The Orioles are going to make another trade as they're going to trade their closer, Felix Bautista, to the Red Sox. So they trade him in the division. So they must be selling. Red Sox make another trade They're going to trade for Carlos Correa. And look who they traded. Two 33-year-olds, Kikuchi and Tom Murphy, for Carlos Correa. I mean, what the hell's going on in this game? And Correa's having a good year, too, it looks like. And the Rays, who never seem to lose the AL East in this video game, they keep getting all the players. And now they they trade for Josh Hader. Josh Hader not even doing that good. He had that 5 ERA, but the Rays make splashes in this game. I don't get it. But anyway, we're versing the Cubs. We're both got the same record. Got a good pitching matchup going. Tyler Mahle versus Dylan Cease. I like this graphic. It makes my job easier for the editing purposes, so I can actually show who's starting. But yeah, there you go. Dylan Cease, 2.36. He's killing it, man, this season. He's been a great trade acquisition. I know it's not towards the end of the season yet, but we got to think about if we give him the extension or not. Anyway, the first highlight is going to come all the way in the fourth as he gets bases loaded, 1 out after the walk. It's Chris Bryant. Went back to the Cubs in this one. Base hit up the middle, 2-run score. Grichuk playing center today. He boots it, and the other runner was able to go to third. After another walk, it's bases loaded again, 1 out for Lane Thomas, but he hits into a double play, 6-4-3 double play to end the inning. It would only be 2. We jump ahead to the 6th, still 2-0. That's Chris Bryant again with the base hit as we're trying to get Dylan Cease to battle it out. He wants to battle it out and finish his 6th inning, only allowing 2. Next batter is former Met Wilmer Flores, and he smokes one in the gap to right center. This would end Dylan Cease's night. 2 more runs, 5 1/3 of 4 earned, and responsible for that guy on second, as Ron Marinaccio is going to try to hold that runner there. First guy would get on, a little pass ball, but Francisco Alvarez does a great job, get up and fire to get the out at second, and then a strikeout of Mitch Garver. So that would be the end of. In the 8th, it is Reynaldo Lopez on the mound now. First and second, nobody out, and a walk to Wilmer Flores. That's never good. Bases loaded now, nobody out. And Lopez gives up a grand slam to Lane Thomas. That would be it for his inning. He did not get a single out. I think that was like his 20th pitch of the inning. Not 1 out, and gave up a grand slam. So he's been off. I mean, he hasn't been awful, but he's just been not good either. We might need some bullpen arms at the trade deadline, and definitely a left fielder, I think, too. So I don't know. I think a left fielder may be more important because our offense needs, I think, one more bat in there that's reliable. Here we are, as you can see, the trade deadline is approaching. We just lost a big game to Chicago, who had the same record as us. Now they're a game up. Let's look at let me show you how the guys are doing, and then you guys can let me know if I need to prioritize relief pitching or a left fielder. Anyway, Nimmo is doing okay, not great. Lindor, 261 with 18 bombs, 53 RBIs. That's pretty good. I can't complain. Same thing with Pete Alonso, 252, 24 homers, 66 RBIs. Definitely take that from Pete Alonso. He's having a nice year. Francisco Alvarez, same thing with him. Not asking more out of my catcher. 242 with all those bombs. Luis Robert has 20 homers. Average is pretty low. That's why he dropped down from 3rd to 5th in the lineup. But solid. 14 for Soler. Like I said, I'd like to see that number go up. Hopefully he gets on a little hot streak. He's going to be my DH, though. I like him. 220, 14 homers. Randall Grichuk, I want to get rid of him out of the lineup. Left field, 236 with 7 home runs and 28 RBI. Starling Marte was in there for a while. He did not do any better. He has no pop, Starling Marte, so he's out. Brett Beatty, he was struggling big time in like the 160s with his average. He now has it up to 211 with 10 homers. So you know what? Whatever, that's good enough. And then Luis Guillermo, that's starting second baseman worthy. He's played a lot of at-bat, 178 at-bats, and he's still hitting 287. Better production than Ronnie Mauricio. I think he'd probably start when Mauricio gets back, too. So we'll see. As far as our pitching goes, Corbin Burns is doing solid, 3.74. Of course, Dylan Cease still sub 3 after getting hit up, 2.52. Julio Urias is 4 even, so not bad. We'd like to see it in the 3s when it's all said and done this season. Kodai Senga, he when he was pitching against the A's, he had mid-4s. He's down to 3.88, so he's been hot. And David Peterson, as a 5th starter with a low 4 ERA like that, I will take it every single time. I'm not complaining at all. Been solid. Tyler McGill's been solid in long relief, 69 innings, 4.78. I'm not going to complain. Loizaga's been good, 3.99 in 49 innings. Stephen O'Kurt has not been good, but he's a Rule 5 pick, remember, so I cannot do anything with him. He's staying here, and we need lefties in this bullpen anyway. Ronaldo Lopez, not good, 4.91 and 14.2 innings since getting called up for Ron Marinaccio. I think I'm going to call up Brooks Raley instead of him, but I'm not going to do it in this episode. I forgot to do that, but I'm thinking about it now. Anyway, John Curtis, really solid, 2.7 and 33.1. Blake Trinan's been okay, only 15 innings. I'm not sure why he's not getting in on the sim as much, but yeah. And then Ron Marinaccio, obviously his ERA was high because we sent him down with a 9. But Edwin Diaz is going pretty good, 2.14. Not as great as it was at the All-Star break, sub 1, but obviously still good. In the standings, where we are before the trade deadline, we're only 2.5 games out now of the division. The Marlins did have a little fall from earth as they're 3.5 out now. Braves are in first. And in the wild card, we're that second wild card spot. But the Reds and Marlins are within a game for that third, within a game of us. And the Phillies aren't far behind, too. So it seems like there's only really 3 teams for that final spot. The Brewers and Cardinals are pretty much out of it. But anyway, let me know what you guys think, what I should do at the trade deadline. I can maybe look at the Orioles because they seem to be selling, see if they got any left fielders out there that would make sense. Or I could look for some relief pitching because we could definitely use another arm in that bullpen. But I'm thinking I might prioritize the lineup as that seems to usually be the problem. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. See you guys in the next one. Thanks so much.